Hello everyone! I absolutely had to start this studio vlog off by just saying thank you so much for all of your support towards the travel palettes. They sold out in under 9 hours and like never did I think they would all sell. I figured like, oh, if they're popular, like most of them will possibly sell, but you know, there's gonna be a couple left over because just the color schemes or the designs or something is not going to necessarily appeal to the people interested in buying them. But they are gone. And the DIY kits that I put up, I had to restock some of those as well. And then at some point, like, I realized, like, oh no, like, I've only made these 10 palettes and people still want the finished palettes, and so I thought of like, oh, like what if I did like a mystery box idea, just on like a whim. Like, I figured, you know, people are gonna want to be able to control which ones they're buying, so the mystery box was just kind of like we'll see how it goes. Like, I know the internet loves blind bags and like mystery box ideas, but they almost sold out as well. Like, I put a limited number up. I obviously had only so many tins left from the ones that I had already pre-poured and the ones I'd set aside for the kits, and I had to, like, I realized that I had to buy more palettes and I had to restock the mystery box palettes as well on my store. And so just thank you guys, because never did I think they would be that popular. And so this studio vlog is completely not what I had planned for this week. I was planning on it being somewhat of a like behind the scenes online store type video, but never did I think it was going to turn into this big thing, because now I clearly am going to be restocking more of the custom palettes. I need to make all the mystery box ones. I am going to possibly pre-make a bunch of mystery box ones because the concept is apparently very appealing to a lot of people. So I just gotta figure out all of that. It's like a shipping warehouse in here right now. I will show you all of the different stuff, but yeah, it's just an amazing, crazy, so thank you, thank you, thank you. Like I said, I just couldn't not start this studio vlog without just saying thank you, like, face to face, and yeah, thanks so much, guys.
Hi, it's Editing Michaela. Sorry for cutting into the video again, but I figured someone would get mad at me if I waited until the end to say this. I have restocked a select number of one-of-a-kind travel palettes. These will be the last ones available this year. There are also more DIY kits and a few mystery box palettes left. But what I'm really excited to announce is the super limited edition ornaments. There are only 8 available, and they are a blind/mystery selection as well. As usual, the links to everything is in the description box, and don't forget to use code HOLIDAY19 to get 15% off of your entire order. The code works until Friday. And now, back to the studio vlog.
So like I said, it is pretty bananas in here. I was filming over there just because I of course have my printer going to catch up on all of the printed palettes. So you can see in there it's going, this is my, if you haven't seen this is like my soundproof curtain thing, but it doesn't block out everything, so that's why I was filming on the farthest area I could in my studio. But yeah, here's all of the printed palette parts that I have right now. Some of these don't have them in it yet, like, I just had a bunch of extras because I wasn't sure which ones were going to sell, and so I basically didn't stock them all with palettes. I figured I was just going to like put the palettes in the tins that needed them, but now they all need them, and so many more than just these ones need it. And then I have all of these lids that I need to sand to prep for more palettes to make, some extra gloves. Yeah, just chaos. I bought a bunch of paint that I will show you in a second, but there's like paint all over the place. There's my boxes. Oh yeah, speaking of sold out palettes, this came, which I guess I will show you in a second, because this is an art video I need to make. Like, I needed to make it like now, but clearly that's not going to happen because I have literally no desks at the moment. But here you see I have a bunch of pre-made boxes in the various colors and a bunch more cut out to make
here. I just didn't want to build them all. Like, there's a limit to how many boxes I can handle at the moment. But I guess we'll talk about this for a minute. So yes, I was one of the lucky souls that spent like 3 hours trying to get the conspiracy palette. And by some miracle I did in fact succeed, but it has taken this long for me to get the package, which obviously I have opened this because it was like a whole thing that, like, explaining to your family online craziness when they're just like not into it is interesting, and so I had been like talking about the importance and chaos of these products for like a month now, and so I had to open it to show them the stuff and what on earth I was talking about, basically. So like most of the internet, I was completely into the whole series, especially just like the behind the scenes and like artistry of creating a product. Very interesting to me. Like, I'm not super crazy into makeup, but this was something clearly that I did eventually want to buy. But at some point it also turned into, I'm going to do an art video on this, because why not keep super YouTube-y things within the tight circle. So before this vlog goes up, there should be an art video using these two palettes. But yes, here it is. It is super cool to have something that you've seen like the entire behind the scene process of its creation in your hands. Super excited to have this now, although it came at a very interesting time because I don't have the artwork that I've had planned for like the last month. That I was fully planning on creating, so that when this did arrive I could just go ahead and start coloring it in with these palettes, but that clearly has not happened, and I've got a bunch of other stuff to deal with before I can actually dive into these, but we will make it work, because this needs an art video. And of course, because the palettes were such a big hit, I had to stock up on some supplies, so I figured I would show you guys the very unexciting pour painting haul, honestly. So, went to the dollar store, and mostly I needed more cups because I do attempt to reuse them. Like, these are all the ones that I used for paint, but then I also, if you watch the first video about these palettes, I use them to prop up the lids on to resin them, so I'm trying to get as much use out of the plastic as I can, but inevitably you do need at some point newer cups and stuff to use, so that's mainly what I needed. I bought 90 of this size. Because the palettes are so small, you don't actually need like a normal size disposable cup, so the shot glassy ones are great for this. These are a bit smaller, I think, than these ones, which is perfectly fine, honestly. I do have some of these left, but yeah, I'm sure they're going to be perfectly a fine size for mixing up paint. I also bought these even smaller ones. I do have some of these and I wasn't sure where they came from and if I could get them easily again, so I bought more because these are a great size, I think, to actually stack the paint in. It just seems wasteful to use like a cup this size when clearly the palettes themselves, I can't even get this undone now, it's all like resin together. Clearly the palettes themselves are not that large, and so you really do not need, like, the cup I'm filling up barely even half, and that's way too much paint, so smaller cups for the palettes was a necessity. Also decided to buy a cookie sheet. I did try and get a drying rack, it's a cooling rack, I guess. It's a drying rack for me. At the dollar store, they didn't have any. They did have this sheet though, and I don't always need the cooling rack to dry palettes. I do need it if I'm pouring them, but for the resining, this could be my dedicated resin cookie sheet. And now these, I don't know if I'm going to get to. I'm going to try. They were a slight impulse purchase, but I did consider this semi-seriously. But just, obviously the palettes are the super popular option, so that's going to be my main focus. But I thought it might be cool, since it is Christmassy time, to possibly pour paint and resin some ornaments. So I bought some of these flat guys, and these may or may not get done this week to go up in the store. If they do, you will see it in this video. But yeah, that is the possible option of other products for the store this year. If it doesn't happen, I will try to do them next year, but we will see how these go. Also, at some point I did go to Michael's. Why did I go to Michael's? Oh, I know, I needed a bone folder. And I saw these in the checkout line and I'm getting low on my popsicle sticks, so picked up more of those since you use them to mix up all the stuff at various points. And then the other thing I bought a lot of like last week and I just never got a chance to use it in the current pour paintings was this really glittery paint. Now, where is it? So this stuff I mixed in with the gold for the second batch and it looks incredible, and so I decided that maybe adding some like thicker glitter stuff into the pours would give it a really interesting texture, so I went a little wild. So this is the Glitterific glitter paint. It's basically glitter suspended in like a clear gluey liquid, so I fully intend on mixing this in probably with a similar color, so this would probably go into gold paint since it's gold glitter. But I did get various colors. There's a blue, super cool glitter, this like greeny teal color, one that's kind of in between, it's like a navy blue with green and it's very multicolored, this one. A red, because I thought that would look cool, and a purple. I also saw these two products. It's called I cannot talk today. It is called Dragonfly Glaze. They are color changing top coats. I did swatch them just to kind of see what was up. So that's like the swatch, but the thing that's more on the lid that's way messier is the actual product, if it would focus. There we go. So yeah, I'm gonna possibly try those into some palettes as well. This is the worst angle I've ever had in my videos. But yeah, that was my Super Mickey Mouse pour painting haul. But now I'm actually going to start packaging up these palettes. So I just grabbed all my packing stuff and I realized I never actually got a chance to show you all the finished printed thank you cards that I designed a couple of studio vlogs ago. So that's what those look like. I of course still need to sign them all, and so that's what I'm going to go ahead and do now, is sign a few of these so that they're all good to go into the packages. Alright, so I got all of the first round of orders that I could package packed up, and then as you can see, I finally actually managed to get the conspiracy palette drawing drawn up. I did decide to do it digitally just as like a backup in case I mess it up. I can just retransfer it onto another sheet of paper. This is pastel paper. I figured it would work the best. As you can see, I just tested it to see if this was actually going to work to any degree. Yeah, so now I'm going to actually go ahead and start filming it, which if you want to see the finished result, it should be the latest video on my channel. Alrighty, so it is the next night. I have tried to clean up the mess that the eyeshadow made. There was a whole lot of powder all over my desk, so tried to clean that up, but I am planning on doing another round of pour painting, so not worried about cleaning it up too much because I'm probably going to have to do it again. So yeah, this is the situation right now, but these I have already fully primed. This time I'm forgoing the gesso just because I really don't think it needs it, especially with the resin that's going on top. So they're just primed. I decided to actually do some black primed ones as well with some black spray primer. So yeah, those are all the palettes. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do all of them with my setup, but we're going to try and get through as many of those as possible.
Why hello there! I just finished filming the intro for the conspiracy palette video, and I thought I would pop on here since I look mildly presentable for once for a studio vlog. I mean, I haven't worn this much makeup in a video, I don't know, ever. I mean, I had to use the palette for the video intro. I mean, it was going to be blasphemy if I didn't, so yeah, it was fun, great products. It's nice to actually use them as the intended purpose and not just for artwork, so that's great. Put these back on because I am blind as a bat. So as you saw from last night, there was an extensive amount of pour painting done. I think I was pour painting for like 5-ish hours. It was a really long time. I mean, it took me like 40 plus minutes just to mix all of the paint up, and then I painted 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 palettes and 8 ornaments, so that was a pretty productive night. But now I have to kind of shift keels because I do need to edit the palette video, and then I gotta figure out kind of the system that's happening. I did actually go and buy more cookie sheets and drying racks, or cooling racks as you would use them for normal baking purposes, because there's going to be this problem that happens that I'm going to need to simultaneously resin palettes and also pour paint them, because I'm essentially making twice as many, like more than twice as many honestly, than the first round, and so yeah. So I needed more sheets because I can obviously move those easier and, like, you know, put them somewhere semi-safe once they're done, let them dry, and continue on with whatever the next thing is. So there's about to be a lot of wet stuff in the studio, but I do need to edit the video first, so that's just kind of the update of what is happening. Figured I might as well show you what I'm talking about. So there are the 8 ornaments. They are, I mean, probably everything is dry at this point. The paint on the tray might not be, but overall I think everything can pretty much get resined. So they're the ornaments, and then we've got palette tray number 1 up here, and then palette tray number 2 down there, and then the extra cooking sheets. If you're wondering, some of these might be mixed mystery box palettes, and some of them might be my second round of individually listed ones, we'll call it. So not sure what's going to be what yet, or if any of them are going to do the other. I might need them all for mystery boxes, honestly, at this rate. Yeah, that's what things are looking like so far. So it is the next day. As you can see, we have hit like peak chaos around here. There is literally more cookie sheets in my studio than in the kitchen at this point. But the resin on these guys and the first round of palettes seems to be almost set at this point. It's almost 24 hours, and then I did get the resin on the second batch. But yeah, it's still a waiting game. I do need to probably almost now finish the backs of these. I'm going to spray paint them and gloss them so they're nice, and then I'll put the ribbon on them, but need to have things going faster because I do need to take product photos for all of this to get them up in my store when I want them available. And yes, the palette stockpile is continuing. There's more printing in there right now as well, but obviously I need to print as many as I possibly can. I haven't actually had a chance to film it yet today, but as you can see, it's been a very busy and productive day. I did manage to get the backs of the ornaments all sprayed black, so I need to put strings on those, and I also got all of the palettes put together. So basically, like, tape taken off, everything's good, like cutting off any resin drips or whatever, and then actually putting them back, attaching them to the bottom of the tin. And yeah, there's a lot. Not all of them are going to be up in my store. Some of them are for mystery box ones. It's a pretty random thing, basically, because I know someone is probably going to ask, how did you determine which ones you were going to sell separately and which ones are for mystery boxes? Basically, I think the two, yeah, okay, so for instance, these two are a great example. These two are actually the same colors, I just stacked the paints in a different order. So because they are so similar, that means one of them is going to become a mystery box one, and one of them is possibly going to become one of these single listings. So just things like that. There are ones that are kind of similar to ones that I previously had as separate palettes. There are a few other ones that have very similar color schemes
color schemes, so they're basically just going to get separated. So it's not like I'm keeping all of the like best ones to sell separately. I really don't think there are any bad ones. I did have my mom like look them over and like just she's brutally honest, so if she's like, oh, this one's not great, she would have told me that she thought, like, because she knows how easy it is to repaint them, so it's not a big deal. So yeah, that's how basically things are going to end up. It's just kind of a random split of ones that are different, because I do want the ones that are in my store separately to definitely look different. So anything that has a more similar color scheme is going to become a mystery box one, basically. So that's how that's going to work. But now I'm going to actually put the strings on the ornaments. And here are the 8 finished ornaments. So yes, I'm not sure if I've mentioned this in the video yet, but these are going to be a mystery box grab. There is only the 8 of them. There will only be the 8 of them, at least for this year. If they're popular, I will consider making more next year. But yeah, it is just these 8, so order fast, because apparently these things like to sell out pretty quickly. And here are all of the palettes. This is a crazy amount. I never thought I would be making this many. This is probably going to be the largest stock that I ever have, so I'm gonna take lots of pictures of this because this is very cool to see. So like I mentioned before, this will be it for stock for this year, so some of these will be available individually. There will be a restock on mystery boxes and DIY kits, and after they're gone for the year. If the demand is there, I will definitely consider making more, but for now, this is absolutely all of them. And with that, thank you again so much for all of your support over the last couple of weeks, but I think I better end the studio vlog here since I've got a ton of product photography to now take. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.